everybody. My name is Amy L. We're here together at F.I.T for our 40 or hour-ish long yoga fit practice today. So as you're ready, we'll begin seated on the mat. Maybe even reclined all the way down if you want to, but knowing that that seat is there if you prefer. And we'll just give ourselves a few breaths to settle into the mat, settle into our practice. And maybe that begins by just finding our inhale through the nose and letting that exhale breath come right out naturally as it wants to. And maybe just finding that a few times to soften through the chest, through the belly. If you need any movement to help you do that, you're welcome to find it. But as you maybe take a few more breaths here, notice any places in the body that are asking for your attention. Maybe consider how you can tend to them today or any other parts of yourself. And maybe on your next breath in, we can reach the arms up to the ceiling or perhaps overhead to the wall behind us. Finding that extension of the shoulders, maybe a little wiggle of the fingertips. Before we exhale, take a breath to soften the right knee into your chest. If you need to extend the left leg, you can. But we're just observing that right hip here, finding stillness or maybe a little shift in the right hip joint, side to side. Maybe a little circle. Still breathing as you explore. Finding your own flavor for maybe one more inhale. Taking your time to maybe stay all the way through that exhale. Gently release that right leg as you're ready to. Maybe inhale the arms overhead once again. And as you breathe out, take that left knee towards your chest. Find stillness or a little bit of movement. Again, just staying here, finding your own flavor to start. Exploring any other shapes on this side. And taking your time to find that final breath in before releasing that left leg long on your breath out. Maybe we reach the arms overhead one more time. Choosing any intentions or affirmations that might serve you today with the option to draw both knees in this time. The hands can soften on the shins. You might even let the knees kind of soften out to the sides or stay closer towards each other in center. But as you choose your final option on our backs for this moment, you might envision yourself transitioning to tabletop. Think about it in your mind's eye first. Maybe we rock and roll on the spine and kind of just go right away through center. And if we want a little bit more ease, a little bit more softness, we can just gently roll to our right side or our left side. Press up in any way that serves our body. And again, take any movements you might need before gently working your way to find yourself on all fours. Pressing through the palms, stacking shoulders over those palms. Feeling a little press into the tops of the feet and knowing that you can tuck your toes as well if you prefer. But we'll soften into cat and cow here, lifting our heart, our hips as you soften belly down. And then reversing that shape, lifting the heart through the shoulder blades, releasing the top of the head and the hips downward. And taking your time to work with your breath. And find your flow here. Observing your inhale as you lift up, maybe your exhale as you soften down, knowing that you can stay here, or maybe we slowly start to take this side to side. Like you're looking over one shoulder towards that same side hip, stretching the opposite side of your body, soften through center your own way, and go the other direction. So as you find your last 3 breaths here, maybe we choose that forward and back. Maybe we choose that side to side. Maybe there's a little bit of both coming into play. Wherever you are, take your time on that final exhale to maybe release the hips back towards your heels. The arms can extend forward. Maybe the forehead shines down for a breath in. And we let anything we need to go as we breathe out. One more grounding inhale here. And we'll stay for the exhale as well. Inviting the next breath in to let us rise up to our tabletop once again. Maybe offering that left hand down so we can soften right arm out to the side. If you want that bigger opening, you can reach for the sky here. But we'll exhale wherever we are to send that right shoulder down to the mat, maybe the right ear. Find a placement for your left palm down. And begin to feel that breath and stretch in your right rib cage. Maybe that right shoulder blade. Letting the belly grow big as you breathe in. And feeling it soften back as you breathe out. We have one more breath on this side. And as you exhale, we'll find that left hand pressing down. Maybe that right arm reaches back up to wherever we're choosing to extend it. Let the exhale bring right hand down and right away press into the floor. Start that breath to extend the left arm to the side or to the sky. And as you're ready to find that breath out, let it float your left arm down and underneath the right. Adjusting that right hand if it feels like you want to or need to. But again, finding that noticing of your inhale and exhale. Where is it landing on that left side body? In the shoulder blade, maybe somewhere else. So as you observe your inhale, stay for your exhale. Planting that right hand down, taking your time to let left arm find its reach. And that last breath to bring the hands back to your tabletop. You can shake out the hips here if you want to. Maybe find any movements for the shoulders. Or as always, you can soften back to that child's pose. Observe the length in your spine or maybe any other places in your body that require your attention. Make those choices accordingly now and throughout the rest of practice. We'll rise back up to that tabletop shape when we're ready to. And maybe prepare to find our first down dog as we tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, press and ground through the palms. As you pedal out the heels, maybe wiggle out the knees or the hips as well. Find length and space behind the neck, allowing it to stay in line with your spine. And again, just let yourself explore, let yourself notice. Letting yourself stay fluid with whatever the practice has in store for you. And if you want to add a little bit of heat, you do have the option here to find that down dog. Maybe let a breath ripple you forward to your high plank. And your exhale will just soften the knees and take your hips right up and back to that down dog shape. If that serves you, you can take it 2 more times. And if not, we get to choose our own adventure. So as you choose your last breath here, let that last breath out maybe take you or keep you in that downward dog. Grounding your feet, your hands for one more breath in. Pressing the floor away as you breathe out. And maybe that next inhale lifts the heels, softens the knees, lets the gaze come forward. Take as many steps as you need to stand at the top of your mat in your forward fold. Let the crown grow heavy. We're hinging from the hips. The arms can dangle. They might reach for each other's elbow. But as you find maybe 2 breaths here, you can stay still or find a little sway side to side. Letting go of an exhale before inviting that next inhale to lift your spine, your crown forward. Slowly breathing out, letting it all go to root down and rise up. Reaching the crown to the top of the ceiling. Maybe the arms begin to lift and rise as well. Let your slow exhale bring your hands down to your heart or maybe open to the sides, whatever you prefer. Take that big breath in to root through the heels, lift through the heart, lift through the head. And we'll begin our first flow together. Let the breath take the hands up. Option to interlace the fingers and maybe flip the palms up for palm tree pose. Press the feet down, lengthen the tailbone down, feel that breath and heart lift up. And then as you exhale, we'll release the hands, maybe send that left arm forward and the right arm back. And you can open up nice and wide here, feeling that extension through both fingers, both palms. And then our right hand will come to the right hip. Maybe that left arm comes up to the sky. Take your big breath in, gaze at the palm, gaze up towards your fingertips. And as you exhale, we're sending that left arm forward, that right arm back, choosing how we want to send that right arm back to the front of the mat. It can swim under, it can swim up, but we'll return to that palm tree pose, flipping the palms for one breath in, pressing into the feet, and again, as you exhale, release the fingertips, send right arm forward and that left arm back. Choose to stay here, or slowly find hand to hip. Begin to lift the heart, lift the gaze, take that energy up. Maybe just keeping it here for one more breath in this first time, so that we can slowly extend back to that open twist as you breathe out. Choose how we swim that left arm to the top of the mat, maybe towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, we'll let go, find that fold. Inhale, take your halfway lift. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the mat, maybe find your plank pose, knowing that you can soften the knees to the mat. And on this first flow, if you want to add your side plank, you might let the heels shift to the left, open up to the right on a breath in. Letting the exhale take you back through center. Shift the heels to the right, open up to the left on your next breath in. Knowing you can modify, setting the knees down at any time. So again, find the flavor that works for you today as you maybe move through your cobra or your up dog, and shift back to your down dog, your tabletop or child's pose. Giving yourself a breath to observe, to prepare to take that journey back to the top of the mat, maybe lifting the knees as you breathe in, softening the knees as you breathe out, walking one step at a time to find that forward fold for one exhale. Inhale finds halfway lift. Let the breath out root you down, and slowly send the crown to the sky, maybe the arms to the sky. Take your big breath in. Seal it everything into your heart. And we'll begin working with that again, one breath, one movement. Inhale, arms come up, maybe find that flip of the palms, breathing tall. Exhale right away, opens towards our right side, left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, hand to the hip, maybe left arm to the sky. As you exhale, open it up back to the side. We'll inhale, take that journey back to the top, just the arms or that palm tree variation. And our breath out opens us to the left side. Inhaling, hand to spine or hip, and breathing that lift towards the front of the mat. Once more, we exhale, open to the side. Inhale, nice and tall through center. Exhale, find your forward fold. Maybe finding that halfway lift as you breathe in, and choosing your vinyasa journey, if we're taking one today, on that breath out. Maybe we find the side plank, turning on those sideline muscles for spinal support, for core support, and taking that breath towards our downward dog or other pose of choice. Is the practice in tapping into your softness today? Maybe it's tapping a little bit more into your strength. But as you take that journey towards the top of the mat for this flow one more time, can you let go of any expectations? Can you invite the practice to be what it's asking to become? Before maybe rising up to that mountain pose. Taking your time to find your breath in, seal the second round with hands to heart on the breath out. And we'll find that one more time. Breathe up, option to flip the palms or keep it without. Exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. Before inhaling, finding that little lift of your heart and your gaze. Reverse that energy, take your time, bringing it back through center. Option for palm tree or just the extension of the arms. We release to our left side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, find that return. And one more time, we inhale nice and tall. Exhale, let the arms reach as you fold forward. One more halfway lift at the top. Before we exhale, maybe take that last round to find our side plank option if it serves us today. Taking your time, your intention, to soften back to down dog, to tabletop or child's pose.
to let yourself ground and notice and reconnect into whatever you might need in this moment once again. Checking in at every breath, choosing what is for you today and letting yourself let go of what is not. So as you might be ready to find that next flow for us to work with, we might come up to that downward dog or tabletop, offering left foot or maybe left knee to the mat so we can lift a little intention into the right heel. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, envision yourself guiding that right foot forward, stepping it towards the thumb, letting yourself send it there in your time before offering that left knee down to the mat and preparing to find your low crescent lunge. So in this first moment, if you need a little breath to tend to that left hip, maybe find any props, you decide what you want here. But eventually we'll walk the hands up, stay here as you press that energy down and away, or maybe send the arms up to the sky. Taking a deep breath in, and then as you breathe out, pressing into that back big toe, maybe gently wrapping your right hip back to shine a little flashlight out of your left hip flexor. So as you're here, we'll take a breath, send the left arm forward, come back with that right arm. Feel that expansion out, feel that twist at the belly button, and then maybe we reach for that right hip again, or let it come back to our left thigh. We'll find that breath to bring us all the way up, lifting the gaze, lifting the heart, finding that intention. As you exhale, left hand will come next to right foot, and maybe we find a little twist here. We can stay with the back knee down. If you prefer to have the back knee lifted, that is here for you too. But as you feel that heart twisting, as you feel those shoulders opening, take one more breath in here, allowing the exhale to set right hand down, maybe pressing two hands nice and strong into the mat so we step back with the right foot. Take your flow if we're taking it today, and we'll prepare to find that on the other side in our time. Noticing any difference between left and right before we set right foot down and inhale the left heel up. Again, option to take this from tabletop if you prefer, but offering that exhale breath to guide heel to glute, to drive the knee forward, to step the foot to the thumb. Elongating right leg if you want to before setting that right knee down rather. Take your time and maybe walk the hands up on that first breath. Observe anything you need for that right hip flexor. We'll take the arms up if it serves us for one inhale. And again, as we exhale, send the right arm forward, reach that left arm back. Maybe just settling hand at the left hip or reaching for the back of that right thigh. Inhale, find that lifted energy once more. And as you're ready to exhale, we'll squeeze the belly button in as we set the right hand down. Maybe gaze up at that left fingertip. Again, option to tuck the toes. Maybe lift the back knee or keep it lowered. As you breathe into your choice for one more inhale, let the exhale soften left fingertips down. Press into the hands as you step back with 2 feet. Choose your transition between sides. And we'll set ourselves up to find our right side once again. Maybe take a moment in that down dog or other pose. Find your breath as you offer the left side down and that right side up. Exhale, begin that journey of right foot forward, left knee down. Inhale to your crescent variation. Exhale, open wide to the right side. Inhale, find that reverse and revolve twist variation. Before we exhale, send that left hand down. And inhale and send that right fingertip up. Find your choices as you release the hand down. Take your time to flow between sides or rest between sides. Tapping into your strength, inviting a little softness in as you need it. And choosing when you'd like to offer right side down to lift your left side up. Guiding that left foot forward for your low crescent lunge prep. Hands to the thigh or arms to the sky right away. Exhale, find that opening sensation. Inhale, lift it up. Let the breath out slowly but intentionally. Carry that right hand all the way down, extending energy through your left fingertips. And slowly we exhale. 2 hands to the mat. Stepping 2 feet behind us. Maybe preparing to find that one more time right side and one more time left side, knowing that rest is welcome, and so are your own choices. So as you find that starting pose, take one breath in, one breath out, setting left side down to lift right side up one more time. Exhale, step forward, take your time with that low lunge setup. Letting an inhale, exalt your arms, and exhale maybe opens them up. What are you slicing through here? What are you reaching for here? Take that breath in. Exhale, set it down. Feel that twisting expansion for one more inhale on this side. Slowly exhale, 2 hands, frame your foot. We're stepping back, finding that flow or that rest, that water, that breath. And taking that exhale to soften back as we set up for that final time on the left side. Right side down, left side up. Where are we inhaling? Take that exhale breath and send the foot forward. As you rise, we're finding that exalted crescent. Inhale, feel that extension of arms forward and back. One more time, lifting up here. What are we reaching for? Let the exhale set it down at the top of your mat. Taking that left arm, the gaze up for one more inhale, and soften it down as you exhale. Find your flow, or again, coming back to down dog, tabletop, or child's pose. Inviting that moment to just check in, to be and to breathe before we find our next flow together. So if you would like to start in that setup, maybe we find that starting pose of choice. Offering our left foot down, shining our right heel up. We can stay with our squared hips, or you might guide heel to glute and slowly start to lift that right knee, or maybe imagine opening that right hip. Taking one breath in here, and then as you breathe out, we're gonna step right foot between 2 hands, set up for warrior 2. Inhale, let the body come up. Maybe we kind of cartwheel the arms, extending energy forward and behind us. Feel that head over the heart over the hips. We'll flip our front palm and carry that breath to reverse warrior. As you take an exhale out, can you imagine steering some energy out that front knee to the wall in front of you? And then maybe your next inhale kind of zips up that energy, and this becomes reverse triangle. So as you just notice that little shift in the front hip, take one more breath in, inviting that breath out to become extended side angle. So we're returning with that bend in the front knee. Maybe forearm comes to the thigh. Left arm could be up in center, or find that slight diagonal extension, but keeping that left shoulder plugged in. So find a breath here. Take that breath out. We're gonna inhale, zip that energy up in the leg, return to our reverse triangle. We can stay in between these 2 sliding panes of glass if we want to, coming forward and back just like this. If it might feel fun, if it might feel exploratory, we can come back to that reverse triangle, and then maybe just kind of like round through center, like you're breaking those panes of glass and extending forward. So it's your choice. If you had 2 more rounds of breath, would you stay in between those 2 panes? Would you kind of break those 2 directions and create your own journey? There's no right or wrong, just your choice for your body. Finding that final extension forward in your extended side. To come back up to that reverse warrior or triangle, your choice. We'll let all that energy lift up to guide us right back down. Squaring left hip, lifting left heel. Find the hands in the mat, and maybe that right foot behind you. And take your flow towards the other side. Again, honoring your pause, honoring anything else you might choose to add on. Again, this is your practice. What is calling you here? As you prepare to set up that left side one more time. Right heel down, right foot down, maybe that left heel up. Finding heel to glute, and again, taking the option if you want it to open that left hip. Just a little lift in that outer glute, maybe in the knee. Take one more inhale before slowly stepping that left foot between 2 hands. Setting yourself up to warrior 2 prep. Back heel grounds, we inhale. Find warrior two once again. Check in with our stance, arms nice and long, spine nice and stacked. We flip that front palm, carry the breath up. So again, just observing this first round on this left side for one inhale. Staying here or just taking that moment to zip that energy up. Straighten the front leg. Feel a little extension through that front hip. And then as you breathe out, we'll return to that bend nice and controlled into the front knee. Take forearm or elbow to thigh. Can you keep that heart open, those shoulders open as you lift right arm up with the option to maybe extend it forward. So as you find one more inhale, stay for your exhale. Let the inhale return you to reverse triangle if it feels good for you. And again, we're finding that choice to float through those two panes of glass or kind of break that fourth wall if you want to. If that looks like lifting up on your reverse, and then just rounding through center, guiding that forearm gently to the front thigh. A little bit of balance, a little bit of exploration, but reminding yourself that the choice is yours. You don't have to do anything that feels like too much. So as you take that last breath in, choose one more breath out. Let the inhale bring you up to, again, you can reverse the warrior with a bent knee or reverse a triangle with a straight leg. But wherever you are here, your final exhale is going to square your hips, your heart, your hands. Take that time to step it back, find your flow. Giving yourself any pauses in between, any chances to reconnect to yourself before we find that starting pose and move one breath, one movement. Set left heel down, right heel comes up. Choose to square your hips or let them open before stepping for warrior two prep. Take that time guiding the foot up as you need it. Rising to that warrior two. Flip the palm, reverse the breath. And maybe inhale, zip the energy up that front leg. As you exhale, we'll start to bend that knee and choose how we want to send that right arm forward, left arm up. We have two more breaths here to play with that rounding or just play with that forward and back. To explore our own bodies, our own breath. Find that intention within for one more reach forward. As you breathe up and back, this is our last breath on this side for now. Letting the exhale slowly carry that energy all the way down to frame your foot. Finding your step back and your choice between your left side and your right side. Giving yourself that gift of being and breathing and maybe just noticing. And before you choose where you'd like to be, to maybe offer that right foot down and to maybe lift that left heel up. One more choice to open the left hip. Send it forward as you step for warrior two prep. Grounding back foot, back heel, and lifting up and open. Front palm will rise. We can take that reverse warrior energy for an inhale. Settle it with an exhale. And zip up to reverse triangle on our next breath in. Before we start to exhale, take that energy forward to extended side angle. And once again, lift it up and back, reverse the energy. Maybe we find that little extension and rounding through the side. Your practice, you choose what is working. You get the power to leave what is not. So as you take one more extension forward, maybe we find that final breath up and back. Invite the exhale to slowly prepare us to release and ground back to the mat as you find your plank pose and maybe your flow. And again, knowing that whatever I'm doing is just merely a suggestion, you can follow it or find your own once again. So if you are interested in maybe finding that once more on each side, my version or yours, we can set the left foot down, invite the right heel up. Option, open your hips for one breath in. Exhale, step forward. Rising to that warrior two shape. Flipping the palm, reversing the inhale. Soften for your exhale. Option to breathe in, lengthen energy out of that front knee. Before you choose how you want to exhale, send that bend back and maybe that extension forward. 2 more breaths here, using the strength of the side body, that intention in the spine and the heart. As you lift, maybe 1 more breath in. Take your time to let go as you breathe out. Finding your space between this last round of right and left. Knowing that you're doing great wherever you are, whatever choices you're making, let them serve you here and now. We'll settle right foot down for 1 more round. Maybe open that left hip as the foot rises. Exhale to warrior 2. And inhale, find warrior 2. Flip the palm, reverse it back. Stay for the exhale. Maybe zip all that energy up on your inhale. Again, breathing out, softening front knee, finding your extended side angle. Inhale through center, or again, find that playfulness. Let the spine round, let the rib cage kind of lead. As you press into the feet, stay steady in the thighs and the legs. 1 more time to extend forward with your breath. 1 more time to lift up through center. Saying goodbye to this 3rd round of movement, we exhale, send our hands to the mat. Step that left foot behind us to find our flow, find our rest, or anything in between. And as you find whatever that is for yourself in this moment, can you just simply notice what has changed or what is changing? What is warming up, what is opening, versus what might have been closed or a little cold when you came in this morning, or whatever time of day this practice is finding you. So as we prepare to move through our final round of quote-unquote work, you might return to your starting pose of choice, knowing that we're just doing this 1 time right, 1 time left. We'll offer that left foot down and maybe lift the right heel once more. We're coming to warrior 1, so if you prefer a spared hip or closed hip, you might find that. And if you feel like you might still want that little bit of opening, you can find that here too. But as we exhale, we'll slowly guide that right foot to about the right thumb. Maybe find a 45-degree angle in our left foot. Invite whatever you need to kind of ground through the front heel. Stack the knee in line with that heel. Maybe lift the arms up. Notice if we're making that C shape with the spine. Can we find that length as we tuck tailbone down, stack head over heart? And maybe find a little bit more intention in the bend of our right knee. We're going to take an inhale, press that energy down to lengthen the energy up, preparing to find pyramid pose. So as you exhale, maybe the arms kind of balance you out to the sides or maybe at the hips. We can stay here with intention in our spine or hinge at the hip point, releasing hands down or to our prop. But finding that breath, finding that pause, knowing that you can keep a slight bend in the knee if you want. But steering that right hip back, choosing to stay as you breathe here, or maybe add a twist. So if we have a block or the floor, we can place our left hand there. Maybe that right hand just finds the thigh to start. Maybe it finds the hip. And as we kind of find that lead up, we might turn the heart, maybe extend the arm, but if that becomes too much for the shoulder, let it come right back. This is already an intense pose without the twist. So if that's too much, we'll come right back to pyramid. But wherever we are, we're gonna stay for 2 more rounds of breath. How can we tend to ourselves and to the intensity? So as we release that final exhale, the hand can come back down. We'll invite a bend back into the front knee, maybe even shift the weight a little bit forward so we can really step back with that left foot. We'll turn the foot out like we're coming to reverse warrior again, because we are. So we'll inhale, take all that breath up. This time we'll inhale, lengthen the front knee, and exhale, let this become a triangle extension. So we can hover that hand by the leg. We can reach for our prop or maybe find the floor. That left arm might extend up, or it can always find the hip if you prefer. But as you reach for that 1 more inhale, stay for the exhale. We'll take 1 more breath to lift up and back, reverse the warrior or the triangle. We'll extend back to that triangle 1 more time. Maybe the arm reaches a little bit further. If you want to reach for twisted triangle, imagine that you're reaching for the big toe. Can you keep those hips in that standard triangle as you find that reach towards your right foot? Take one more inhale, let it come back up. Squeeze the obliques, squeeze the core, reverse your variation. And as you exhale, we're bending a little bit into the front knee, squaring the hands to frame that foot, lifting the left heel as you find that variation. And pausing for a moment, we're gonna come to our standing split, maybe a half moon. I'll walk you through it, I'll get you there. But can you imagine to start that we're gonna shift our weight to the right heel or right foot? You can walk the hands or the blocks about diagonal to your big toe and your pinky toe. And either we'll tap the toes or find that lift with our flexed foot, our squared left hip. And we can stay here. If you want to find half moon, can we imagine maybe lifting that left hip to stack over the right? Your gaze is steady wherever it's helpful, wherever it feels safe for the head and the neck. You have the option to land the left hand or maybe let it float towards the sky. Keeping those shoulders open, keeping that belly button lifted in. As you exhale, maybe come back to standing split. And as you maybe just notice your left toes, can we soften into that right leg? We're gonna come to standing either 2 feet next to each other. We have the option to cross that left ankle behind the right and just add a little extra something to this fold. So again, the choice is yours. What does your practice need? What does your practice ask of you here? Take one more inhale, maybe lift halfway, extend hamstrings to the wall behind you. And as you let go, return to that fold. Let all the air out of your lungs. Now before we find the transition, ask yourself maybe how you want to come to sit with 2 feet next to each other. We can shift the weight to the right foot and set left foot next to it, or find our own way there. But maybe bend the knees, find a little release before we take that halfway lift extension. And that choice to either find our vinyasa flow once more or step right back to wherever we're choosing to begin. The practice is not so much in the poses, but it's in how we allow ourselves to be in the poses. So maybe instead of getting hung up on anything we can't do, how can we switch that narrative to embrace what we can do? Set the right foot down as you lift left heel up. Again, the choice is here for you to open the hip or keep it square. What do you need before that warrior one shape? So as you're ready, perhaps an exhale takes that left foot forward, shortens the stance with the right foot. Option for your props to set up if you need them for pyramid. But first we'll rise with or without the arms. Find that long straight spine, a little intention in that bend in the front knee. Honoring wherever you are in your breath. And the next time you find that exhale, let all the air out so that we can zip up to our pyramid prep on the next breath in. Let the arms maybe balance you, help you float to hands to hips, staying in that hovering pyramid or that released pyramid. Find your breath, adjust your stance as the body might ask you to, maybe steering that left sit bone behind you before making that choice to stay in pyramid or allow right hand to find prop or floor, maybe left hand to left thigh or left hip. Start whatever journey you might like to twist the heart to the left side and maybe extend the arm up. Again, if you want to stay in that traditional pyramid shape, that is a lot as well. So for 2 more rounds of breath, how can you honor what you need on this side? Take your time to slowly exhale and return to that pyramid shape. As you maybe soften into the front knee, let the weight shift forward as we elongate that right leg. Again, we're finding that reverse warrior 2, preparing the feet before lifting the arms, taking that time to lift all the way up. Settle the exhale and lengthen that front knee straight on your inhale. Take that breath, let it float you to your triangle pose, and again, observe what this side is. Are we finding that prop for support? Are we extending arm to the ceiling or maybe overhead? Maybe somewhere in between. But we'll take one more breath to reverse our triangle energy. Using the exhale again to come to that triangle or that twisted triangle. You can reach for your left big toe. You might even touch it. You do not have to. But just finding that slightly deeper extension, if it's here for you today, taking one last breath in to bring it right back up, reverse that warrior or your triangle. And then we're gonna come to that framed foot. Watch out for the props. Maybe they come and help you as you square that right hip, starting to walk the blocks forward or your hands forward as we shift the weight to that left heel, that left foot, and maybe kind of find that energy extending out that right heel as well. We can stay here, or maybe start to slowly open that right hip over the left. And if it serves us, we can take hand to the hip on that right side, maybe find our half moon. Can you imagine stacking the shoulders, stacking the hips? And as you exhale, slowly squaring the hips, release that right hand down. And we're gonna come to that forward fold standing. Are we crossing right foot behind the left, or maybe just guiding 2 feet next to each other? What allows you to feel that deep stretch, but also keep your breath? And there's no right or wrong way to be here. So find any movement you need, embrace any stillness you need. Because you did the hard part. We're through all that quote unquote work. So as you take maybe one more inhale and exhale here, let yourself embrace whatever you're noticing. Maybe inhaling to take that half lift as you're ready, shifting a little bit of weight to that left foot so we can uncross the legs if we need to. And then it's your choice here to maybe heel toe the feet, mats width apart. If you want to take a Malasana Yogi squat, you can do that right here. If there's anything else that your body might be craving after all that movement and breath, you are welcome to find it. Option to put a block or prop underneath the hips for a little extra support. As you keep thumbs at your heart, those elbows in the sides, or maybe offer the option to kind of extend the hands down like you have a big scarf around your neck. Knowing that the options are here to support you, not to intimidate you, not to taunt you, just to know that you have ways to meet yourself where you are. So as you take that last breath in, maybe stay for that last breath out, letting the hands come to the earth or your props to support you as you maybe slowly re-extend to a standing fold. Legs can be as wide or as close together as you want as you shine the crown down, and maybe find those elbows to wrists clasping towards each other once again. If you want a little sway side to side, it might be here. But allowing that exhale to maybe linger a little bit longer than it has been. In your time, whenever you're ready, we're going to take our own transition back to child's pose. So if that's through one more vinyasa, that's here for you. If that's just stepping back and grounding down, that is here for you too. But finding that inner agency to choose what feels good for you in this moment, not what you think it should be. So if that's maybe staying in center, we can stay in center. If maybe that's reaching both arms out to the right side, and maybe extending those left fingertips a little bit further than your right rather. Maybe we find that side child's pose stretch. Letting the breath guide us to whatever is asking to be opened on this side. Lengthening for one more inhale. And taking your time to slowly maybe come through center with your exhale. Switching your sides as you're ready to, walking hands to the left, and maybe letting your right fingertips reach a little bit longer than your left hand. maybe staying for one more breath in and out. Maybe using that exhale to gently draw you back towards center of child pose. And if you want to, we'll slowly start to guide our hands towards our knees. Maybe letting ourselves find a kneeling position if that feels okay for us, or a seated position if you prefer. But allowing the hips to ground, the heart and head to stack. Maybe the arms lift as we inhale. We'll exhale, take right hand to the side. And one more time, come back up through center. Release that left hand down, send right arm to the left side. As you inhale, we'll come back up through center. Option for that last breath to kind of press the hips forward. If you want to stay with arms extended, you can. If you want to take the hands to the hips, maybe we find a small camel variation. Creating that space for the front of the body. Taking our time to stack head over heart. Maybe release the hips down to the heels. And take our time and intention to slowly bring our hips to sit on the mat. Maybe extending the legs out in front of us. Taking our time to slowly release the spine back down to the mat. Drawing one or both knees into the chest, just as we did at the start. Take a breath to notice. And take any small movements you need for your hips. Maybe that's a reclined cobbler's pose. Maybe that's a happy baby. But as we come into these final moments of our time together, maybe bring one more moment of intention, of choice, of any poses you might like to end your practice with today, whether that's a spinal twist or a bridge pose. Honor this space with as much time as you need for one side or both sides if it applies. To kind of seal out the physical portion of your practice before choosing how you would like to rest and restore in your final Shavasana. You have time, you have your intention. Land where you need to land as you take one more inhale, letting it be as it is as you exhale. And as you rest in these last few moments, you might choose to remain as you are and keep that stillness and silence going for yourself. Or if you would like to reawaken as we close out practice today, maybe take a moment to blink the eyes open or blink some awareness into your mind's eye. Slowly inviting any movement back into the body.
maybe starting through the fingers and toes and gently working your way up the arms and legs. Letting this awakening be slow and intentional, as you maybe invite yourself to roll to the right side or left side and maybe pause there for a breath. And take one more moment of noticing, of acknowledging the choice you made to step on your mat, to choose your practice. And as you feel yourself held by the floor beneath you, maybe gently cradled by gravity above you, you can take your time to return to that seat if you're called to it. Finding that tall spine, maybe a steady gaze or your closed eyes. Coming back to your intention or whatever guided you to practice today. We'll take a big breath in, reaching for whatever that guidance is or was, and just ask it to settle down into our hearts. And take one more breath, bringing thumbs to third eye as we honor the practice in ourselves and in each other. Together we bow with gratitude. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. My name is Amy L. This is Vibe Vault Fit, and we will see you next time. Thank you, everybody.